TV is making TV watchable again. Join us on the Active Kingdom Entertainment Network. Download Taken TV from your App Store now.
Hi, I'm Joe Sweeney. I founded the Acervo Project in response to the growing epidemic of human trafficking and child exploitation. Classifying this as an epidemic is an understatement. Our investigation teams and cyber analysts are tracking child predators every day. We're making a difference, but we need your help. The average age of a trafficked child is just 14 years old. Will you join the Acervo Project team? Donate $14 a month to protect the next at-risk 14-year-old. Pledge your $14 a month at theacervoproject.org. That's ASSERVO.org.
Welcome to Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure. Keeping you informed on faith and family entertainment.
Hello, Holly. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Isaac. I'm excited about this show today.
What do we have on today's show?
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It's been out for a while, but we want to talk about that film for parents who haven't seen it, for people who haven't seen it, and also talk about Sound of Freedom, because there's some interesting new facts about that film we want to discuss. So good show today. And also, who else do we have?
Well, we also will be speaking with Karen Abercrombie. I had an opportunity to just sit down with her a little bit, and then she'll share about something new she's got going on.
Oh, it's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
But first, we've got a trailer, right?
Absolutely. Here we go.
I'm retiring.
Well, in that case, what are we drinking?
Same for the goddaughter.
Dad told me you found something on a train during the war. A dial that could change the course of history.
Why are you chasing the thing that drove your father crazy? Don't move.
Please get out of here. Stop! Sorry.
Helena! Dr. Jones, get him. Hitler made mistakes, and with this, I will correct them all. You stole it. Then you stole it.
And then I stole it. It's called capitalism.
This way! Fasten your seatbelt. There might be some turbulence.
You've taken your chances, made your mistakes, and now a final triumph.
Give him hell, Indiana Jones! A few times in my life I've seen things. I've been tortured with voodoo. Been shot 9 times, including once by your father. Sorry! But I've been looking for this all my life.
I love that John Williams score, don't you?
You know what? Every time I hear that, I know. I've been a huge fan, by the way, of the Indiana Jones movies.
I have too, Isaac, and I love hearing that. Seriously, even just that trailer, that music just gets you going. Mm-hmm. You know, this movie, first of all, folks, if you think Steven Spielberg directed it, he did not. The series was created by George Lucas. He created the idea of the series. Spielberg directed the first 4, but James Mangold directed this one. In fact, Spielberg told him, make it like a trailer. Just keep moving. Don't have any still moments. Just keep it going like a trailer, and you've got the Indiana Jones. And it didn't it, Isaac? It felt like that.
Did. Yes.
The whole thing. You know, I thought it was interesting because, first of all, Harrison Ford, of course, is Indy. Mads Mikkelsen plays the villain in this, which he's excellent at. Phoebe Waller-Bridges is the goddaughter, so you've seen her in that scene. With the line that she said, he said, I stole it, then I stole it, it's called capitalism. That created a little, bit of a controversy because they were saying it was being woke. I didn't think it was woke. I just thought it was funny. It's part of that, Yeah. And then he talks about, I've been shot, I've been this, this and that. I love the references to the 80s movies and the others after 42 years. 42 years, Isaac. 42 years that series went. Wow.
Unbelievable. Well, now, one thing that I did notice was, number one, the first two movies, maybe the first three, I'm not sure, but I know for sure the first two movies had a real strong biblical theme in that he was searching for an actual biblical artifact. You know, the Ark of the Covenant on the first one.
Yes.
The silver chalice on the second one. I'm not sure about the third or fourth. I actually can't even remember right now. But this one also didn't. I just found that different. What is your idea on that?
And the last one, which you couldn't remember, was the alien one, where the alien skulls and the glass things or whatever. I mean, it was like so stupid. It was so dumb. It was like, really? I mean, they're hard to believe anyway. But now in this one, it was the Archimedes dial, which was a real Greek item, which was said to predict the future. So this is the focus on this one. And the only reference was that it said it makes you God. You can be God because you can control time. And that's why there was such a pursuit to get this, was because the villain wanted to rewrite history and control history and time. That's why he wanted to get it. And of course, Harrison was after him to stop it. But I do remember one thing, though, that reminds me of that, Isaac, is the first ones, even with the biblical references, I mean, the skin melting off and the demons coming out. And then the one other one that had the sacrifice. Parents, this doesn't have anything like that in it. It really doesn't. True. There are characters are thrown from the train, they get shot, whatever, but there's nothing bloody. There's nothing that's sacrificial. There's nothing that had been in some of the previous ones that, quite frankly, were a little much for kids. This one doesn't have that, does it, Isaac?
I don't remember seeing any of that. Definitely family friendly, if you will. Now, there was no language in it really that I can remember either.
No.
Maybe a couple things, but I'm not even sure about that.
Well, he said give him HE double toothpicks, but that was about the only thing that I remember. That's the only thing out of the whole movie that it was.
I've heard preachers in church say that, they'll say that. Anyway, now what about the Sound of Freedom, which it's doing amazing?
It is doing amazing. In fact, as of last Wednesday, and this, anyone can see this at any time. We'll put it this way. By the middle of July, it had made $53.4 million, and it opened July 4th. So that gives you that in 2 weeks, it made what was, triple or double what its budget was. I think its budget was $14.5 million was its budget. Wow. So it made 53, almost 55. And by now, when people see it, it's even more. Interesting thing about Sound of Freedom, which, first of all, Isaac, you and I talked about this before, but I think it's worth rediscussing and saying that it's not for little kids to see, but I definitely think mature, older kids and preteens and teens should see it, because they should be very aware of what's going on right now in today's culture with modeling and luring people in for modeling and luring people in for stuff like that, young people. And then they get in that sex trafficking. Of course, it is about that. And the thing is that Angel Studios raised enough money to purchase 4 million tickets for people who couldn't afford to see it. They could get a free ticket to go see it. And I thought that was something that hadn't been done. Hollywood was like, well, that doesn't count towards our box office. That doesn't count when you raise money. It counts. They bought tickets. It counts,
Now, here's something that is really frustrating me right now, Holly. I recently posted, let's make this weekend for this coming weekend that by the time people see this show, that will have passed. But let's make this weekend a big win for this movie. And you know what? 99.9% of the people were just very enthusiastic about it. And, one of the most important movies of the century, must see, I pray, goes to all the schools. One guy said, my church bought $1,000 worth of tickets. But I had this one post, and it absolutely just drove me nuts. This lady says, no, thank you. I cannot willingly give money to the Mormon church. Okay, first of all, Angel Studios is not the Mormon church, okay?
No, it's not.
Maybe they're owned by Mormons, but that doesn't matter. It's a company that distributes movies, all right? Now, what I'm thinking of, and I wish you would understand this, who do they think the money went to, let's say, when they supported Jesus Revolution? Because Lionsgate is not a Christian company.
Right.
They produce a lot of
Right.
really bad
If
horror
you,
films.
if you checked into products like Coca-Cola and other
Yes.
products, you'd be very surprised to find out whose money owns those companies. So we can't do that, folks. You can't do that. You've got to support. Tim Ballard and Jim Caviezel have been campaigning their hearts out for this. This is something that's so important to get the message out for this film. And it's gaining momentum. It's getting people aware of sex trafficking and child sex trafficking in Hollywood and others. So it's doing good. God's doing good with this.
I thank God for whoever he chooses to fund movies that expose evil or that promote the gospel. Right?
I agree. We agree on that. And that's why we're saying, folks, go support it.
Go support it. Go support it. Well, listen, I also recently had a chance to sit with a little bit with with Karen Abercrombie, who, of course, is best known as that feisty 80-year-old in that movie War Room.
Yes.
Just a real prayer warrior. And she's done so many other movies. But today, she is here to talk about a new series that she's producing and stars in which she's a judge. It's called Eleanor's Bench.
I'm excited to see this interview.
Absolutely. Let's go to the trailer, and then we'll be right back with Karen. I keep saying with Karen Abercrombie.
There is rarely an easy day in this courtroom.
All rise for the Honorable Eleanor Thomas.
We are all here for the same reasons. We care about the future of our community's children. I believe in redemption.
You got no right. You are not taking my baby.
I want to see if I can get this one moved into my court.
Look at your son. Do you want to be reunited?
Mommy! Her mother was my best friend. I promised your mother that I would watch over you. I want to help Trayvon.
You know, it never made sense to me how people walk around their whole life and only talk to God when their life is falling apart, when they could walk around with him all the time as their best friend.
You go to these neighborhoods where people know who you are because you put their kids in prison.
Your parking fee.
Stop right there.
Please, be careful.
My old neighborhood. Daddy, you can't stay here.
I'm staying in my house. I've had a good run. I'm good with it. There's memories of your mom and me around every corner. I used to watch your mom sitting on that bench for hours. One after another, they would come. She was always there to listen.
Mama, how come Daddy can hear you and I can't?
She'll hear your voice one day, baby.
I don't know that if what I'm doing is making a difference. I don't want to live with emptiness anymore. Was it always like this?
It's the same neighborhood, Eleanor. You're the one who's changed.
Love is a good thing, and the good Lord's given me plenty of it.
Little Eleanor, listen to your mama. Hurt is a part of love.
Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven.
I pray for judgment day. My sweet Eleanor, this is your bench now.
Karen, welcome to Faith on Film.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Oh, I'm so happy you are here with us too. Now, you, of course, as I mentioned in the intro, are best known for the award-winning portrayal of and it said on the writing that I saw, it said spicy 80-year-old prayer warrior. Maybe you can tell us later what spicy means. Miss Clara in the Kendrick Brothers film War Room, you, of course, have been in over 40 projects, several of them before War Room. You've even played an angel in a movie that you wrote called Angels Unaware, in which, by the way, you won Best Actress at the 50th Annual Crown Awards this year. And now you are playing a judge. And you know what? We're going to talk about that and a new series that you've got that's available on PureFlix called Eleanor's Bench. But first, maybe we could start this off by letting us know a little bit about yourself and how you even got started in this.
Well, I always had a vivid imagination as a child. And as a matter of fact, I had an imaginary friend for quite some time. And I've just always loved performing or creating stories and getting the kids in my neighborhood to act out different parts in these stories or whatever I created. And as I got older, I just became more involved in theater and really, really loved it. Now, after high school, I went to the University of Pittsburgh. I wanted to become a psychologist, or so I thought, that I had to do something that was, and that would allow a good situation foundation under my feet, But after 2 years there, I left and I auditioned for a school in New York, moved to New York, didn't know anybody, and just kept going, after I graduated from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. It is what I love. It is how God has gifted me to minister. This is how he uses me to do that. It is my calling. And I absolutely love it.
There's one thing that seems to be very much in common with a lot of actors is that they actually had that inkling or that desire since they were kids. Now, I believe, especially in the fact that you've, done mostly faith-based content, is that God puts a purpose when you're conceived, and he puts that purpose in your heart, and then he begins to give you that desire in your heart for what the purpose that he put in. Would you agree that maybe that's kind of what happened to you?
Oh, yes, absolutely. 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 Yes.
Wow. Well, tell us about Eleanor's Bench. What is that about? How did that come about?
Oh, it's a wonderful series. Mm-hmm. Eleanor's Bench is a story about a woman named Eleanor. And at one time, she was a partner in one of the top law firms in Washington, D.C. And she was very well to do. And, that was her life, all of her life. Now, her father is still living in the neighborhood that she grew up in on the other side of the tracks. And he gets sick. So she has to spend more time there. And in spending more time there, she can now see the changes, what is really happening here in this place. And God pricks her heart. And she decides to leave that law firm, and she becomes a judge on the juvenile bench. Ergo, Eleanor's Bench. Mm-hmm. So,
now,
yeah.
Are you the creator of this series?
No, I didn't create it. Stephen Schultze, wonderful writer. Okay. He created the series. I've had the opportunity to work with him on several projects. Mm-hmm. And one time he mentioned that he was writing this piece and wondered what I thought about it, if it would be of any interest to me. And I was like, absolutely. And said that for so many reasons. A wonderful role, but my family was a foster family for many, many, many years. So a lot of the stories that people will get to see on Eleanor's Bench, I actually experienced. These things really, really go on. And on the other hand, Stephen, his family has been a foster family for quite a while too. So working with him on this and being able to shine a different kind of a light on the matter is very important for the both of us.
Now, who is this series geared towards? Because a lot of people kind of look at faith-based content and they kind of feel like, oh, well, that's geared towards the mom, the soccer mom or the grandma. But this one seems different to me.
Yes, it's definitely family. Mm-hmm. It's definitely family. And it's it's not the hot chocolate dipping the cookies in kind of drama. It is real life. It's real life. But there are characters, young and older, that people out in the world, the audience will be able to relate to for sure. Even though these stories are very different, they will see themselves in some of these characters. Okay. And I also think that some people's minds will be changed as they get to experience life with these characters, because it's not like a movie, it's a series. So it gives you more time to know the individual characters.
Right.
And when you get to live with them for a little bit, your mind tends to change, because we can sometimes be so judgmental.
Okay. No, not us Christians.
I know.
Now, okay, so you said something there that kind of struck a chord here, that people's lives could potentially be changed. So you're not looking at this as just another entertainment piece. There seems to be a purpose to this, and maybe something that you feel is even more ministry oriented. Am I going the right track here?
Oh, you are. There are so many different levels. People who are going through some stuff will see people going through some stuff, financial, physical, mental, emotional, and they'll be able to relate to that. My character has walked away from her faith, but as she starts to spend more time in her old neighborhood, she starts to also walk back to the Lord. And I'm sure there may possibly be people out there who, they walked away. So there are a lot of different stories, a lot of different levels, a lot of different workings within this show. That was also very attractive to me, coming aboard, being a part of it.
Now, how many episodes are there right now?
Right now we have 6 episodes.
6 episodes. Is there plans to do more or another season? Obviously, if people tune in and watch it, and I very strongly suggest you do. By the way, I have seen the episodes; they're fantastic. Go to PureFlix, and that's where they're available right now. But if it has great success, which I think it is, because by the way, I just saw something that said it's the #1 series on PureFlix right now. Is there plans to do some more?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did. See, I did my research.
Well, you know what? I'm going to have to thank you. Thank you. I would love for it to be, but we will see. But I like it so much, and I believe in the power of this project to reach people and to teach people without hitting them over the head with a Bible or anything, just bringing them into this town, this experience. I would probably try to work out a way to produce it myself, but I'm hoping that it continues, but I would like to be a part of making sure that it does.
Right. Now, I'm going to ask you a difficult question because it might get you in a little bit of trouble, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And that is, what has been your favorite character in all that you've done? Because you've done, like I said, over 40 different projects. What has been your favorite character?
I don't even have to pause or think about that. It would be, for many reasons, Miss Clara in the War Room movie. Because it was a clarion call to prayer, and so important. So having been blessed with that honor to play that character, I am forever grateful to God. I'm just like, oh, wow, thank you, God. And so it's opened up doors so that I can do Eleanor's Bench and other things. So War Room.
Okay. Well, that is, of course, my favorite character. And it's because of that prayer warrior personality that you have. And in fact, I think one of the most impactful things for me was what I call the raise them up prayer. That prayer that you did in one of the scenes in the closet. Oh my goodness, that has just been so impactful. I can tell you that if I ever have any really strong need of something, I'm going to call you to pray for me because I know that you would just knock down the gates of heaven and get in there, and God would listen to you.
Well, I am open, and his ears and hearts are open to each and every one of us, and that's one of the reasons I love him even more.
That's right. Anything else that's already in the workings for you that you can share with us?
I just have a few projects I'm trying to put to flight. One is called the Book Club. It's my answer to Harry Potter. Group of kids start doing some amazing stuff, and then the adversary is trying to get a hold of some important documents, and these kids are trying to protect them, and it's just wonderful fantasy adventure faith-based film. So
awesome. I will tell you also though that another character that I did like, which is the one that you just won the Best Actress Award, is where you play an angel in Angels Unaware. And what I found really interesting is that scene where the devil, which is played by Cameron Arnett, comes and knocks on the door, and you open the door, and it's obvious that you guys had some kind of friend relationship or brother sister. I don't know exactly what, but you guys knew each other before he was knocked out of heaven. That was such a powerful scene too.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you. That's another thing, a project I'd like to turn into a series. So
Yes, that and series are the way to go. By the way, I'm saying it right now. Series, I think, right now are the way to go. I tend to watch a lot more series than I do movies.
Yes,
you get connected. You become part of the people in the series.
Yes.
Well, listen. How can people follow you, contact you? Just kind of be aware of everything you're doing.
They can check my Facebook page. Under Karen Abercrombie, or I'm going to start doing a little travel show called Living Simply, Naturally, and Well. Wow. And my intent with that is just to have some immersive, authentic experiences with people from around the world. We've got so much more in common than we realize.
You are like a freight train. There's just no slowing you down.
But so just that. That's wonderful. And I love travel, and it's just time while I can still get around well to do those things. Yeah.
Great. Well, okay. Eleanor's Bench, a series with Karen Abercrombie, available on PureFlix now. So just if you don't have the PureFlix app, get that PureFlix app and get out there and look for Eleanor's Bench. I'm thinking of all your other projects that I love, but Eleanor's Bench, I know you will enjoy it. I did so very much. Eleanor, see how good you are? I'm calling you Eleanor now. Karen, thank you so much for sharing this with us, all right?
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
No, you bet. Folks, we'll be right back with more Faith on Film.
Hey there, my name is John Michael Simpson. I'm the director of High on Blake, and you are watching Faith on Film.
That was a great interview. I loved it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But we've come to the end of the show, Holly. Time has run out.
Bye, everyone. God bless.
See you next week.
Thanks for watching.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.
Taken TV is making TV watchable again. Join us on the Active Kingdom Entertainment Network. Download Taken TV from your App Store now.